Hey guys, so this is assignment number 4. I've already downloaded it to my computer. Remember that you need to do for the first time, file, save as, and then call it number 4. I'm not going to do that, but it would say number 4 up here. Then whenever you make any changes on it, when you actually go back into the assignment, all you got to do is hit the purple save box before you go turn it into Google Classroom. So in this lesson, we're going to be working with multiple worksheets. So this whole thing is called a spreadsheet, and down here you see that I have 4 worksheets in one spreadsheet. They're kind of like different tabs open on the internet. The first thing that we're going to do is just you can move things. So if I click and drag, I can move things in different orders. So you can go ahead and practice that. So that's pretty basic. So January, February, I want March to probably be right here. Something else you can do, you can add worksheets. So if we want to add one that's called April, I can hit this plus right here, and it called it sheet 1. It automatically is just going to name it for me. I'm going to want to double click in there, and I'm going to call it April. Once I have it in there, I can just click out of it, and now it's renamed April. Okay, so we've got January, February. Notice January and February are different people. March, April's blank because we just made it, and sheet 4 was also blank, and that was one that they already gave us. So going back here, deleting a worksheet, so we got to practice that. Let's delete sheet 4. Different options. You just right click on top of it and you can hit this delete button. Okay, so that got rid of it. That's easy enough. Remember, if you ever do something, you can always undo it or add it back in. Let's see, copying worksheets. Now, a company might copy a worksheet if, for example, okay, here's January's, and if they all completed the webinar in January, well, these same people are also going to have to complete it again later in January or in a different month. So we want to copy the January worksheet so we don't have to retype all of these people in. So I'm going to right click over the top of January, and I'm going to click this move or copy. Okay. Right now it's just assuming we want to move it somewhere, like so we could move it to the end, we could move it somewhere else. It's easier to just click and drag to move. But we actually just want to make a copy of the January. So I'm going to click create a copy. Creating a copy of the January worksheet and hit OK. Notice it put it in the beginning and it named it January 2. Now that might be okay. I'm going to move the first January here. January 2 might be a good name if it's maybe the second time in January that they had to complete the webinar. Notice, January, the original one, how it looks. January 2, same thing. But maybe we don't know for sure if they've completed these or not, so we can just kind of select all of those and then hit delete on the keyboard. And then as the company gets to the second date in January, the person could go and check off when people have attended. Okay? Titles might need to be changed a little bit, but notice that I can still make the copy and now alter both of the copies. Okay? Alright. Moving. We already talked about moving worksheets. Just clicking and dragging is probably the easiest. Right now I have it in a pretty logical order, so I'm going to let it be. Next thing, grouping worksheets together. If we group worksheets together, if I make an edit on one of the worksheets, the same edit will go to the other one. Okay, so let's say we got February. Notice we got kind of like Shirley, Martha, they're the first 2 people. And January, we have Jared and Beverly are the first 2 people. Okay, let's go ahead and try to group those 2 together. So I'm going to click January. Okay, and then I'm going to hold down Control and click February. So notice that January and February both have a green line under them. Once I held down Control and I click both of them, I'm going to right click on top, and then I'm going to, oh, that already groups them together. So notice I'm going to January, I click back here to January and February. So when they both had the lines under them, they're grouped. I'm going to go ahead and in this cell right here, so in E5, I'm going to go check if February doesn't have anything in E5 either. Let's see if I put something in E5 on this worksheet, if it goes on to the other one. So I'm just going to write hello, just for the fun. And I'm going to go click out of there, click on the February one, and it didn't pop up. So let's see, I must have done something wrong. I'm going to go back, and this is what I would do if I were you too. If something kind of doesn't look like it should, I'd go back to this tutorial. So I need a little refresher here on how grouping worksheets. So I selected the first worksheet, I held down the control, and then I selected the worksheets that I need to group together. You can navigate any of the group. Any changes made to one worksheet will appear on every worksheet in the group. However, if you select a worksheet that is not in the group, all of your worksheets will become ungrouped. Okay, so maybe this is what I did wrong. I'm going to go back and I'm going to group them together. So you got to maybe make these changes. I'm going to delete hello. They're not grouped together right now. So I'm going to January, I'm going to hold down control and hit February. They're grouped together right now, currently. So I can work with them right now. So I'm going to go type hello in here. Go click February and notice hello already popped in. Now those will still stay there. If I click on March, see how they didn't group? They're not grouped anymore. Okay, but this one still has hello and that one still does too. If I want to make a change again on January and February at the same time in cell E7, I'm going to want to group them again. So hold down control, hit February, E7, I'm going to write hi. Don't click on any of these ones yet. I'm going to click on February just to check. They both transferred over. Okay, so grouping, you got to make the changes while they're grouped, and then if you go to another spreadsheet, they're done. They're not grouped anymore. I believe that was the last thing. Yep, so grouping, that's the end of assignment number